Stoic silence, the power you don't have to prove. Hey, Stoic warrior, we exist in a world where everyone's constantly trying to prove something. They prove they're right. They prove they're valuable. They explain, over-explain, and sometimes even plead just to be noticed. But the Stoic doesn't do that. A Stoic doesn't beg for attention. A Stoic doesn't chase validation. A Stoic doesn't justify himself to the world, because he knows silence is strength. Now, here's what most people do when they're hurt, rejected, or misunderstood. They rush. They chase. They try to fix what's broken by explaining themselves to people who've already decided not to understand. That right there isn't bravery. It's insecurity disguised as courage. You call someone and they don't pick up. You text again. You message again. You pour your heart out in a long paragraph, hoping they'll finally see your worth. But here's the truth. The more you explain, the more you beg, the more power you surrender. And that's not Stoic. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, mastered the power of silence, not because they didn't care, but because they understood this. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we actually have. Epictetus, when you chase someone's attention or beg for their understanding, you're handing over control. You're saying, my peace depends on your reaction. But that's not peace, that's a prison. Real strength is when someone disrespects you and you walk away without a word, not out of pride, but because your dignity doesn't shout, it doesn't chase, it doesn't explain, it quietly detaches. This silence isn't emptiness, it's discipline, it's self-respect, it's that deep inner strength whispering, I don't need to be heard by you to hear myself. And this kind of silence terrifies people, because when you stop reacting, they lose the control they thought they had over you. So today, let's talk about the kind of silence that builds power, not weakness. The silence that makes people wonder what changed. The silence that lets your absence speak louder than any message you could send. We're going to break down 6 deep truths. 6 reasons why silence is a Stoic superpower, and why those who practice it never chase, beg, or explain themselves. If you're tired of overgiving, if you've been misunderstood, if you've ever chased someone who walked away from you, this is your moment to shift. Before we begin, do one simple thing. Like this video if it resonates. Drop your affirmations in the comments as we go. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it. And most importantly, don't skip a single part, because one idea, one truth, might just change how you carry yourself forever. Now repeat this affirmation in the comments. My silence is my power. 1. Silence makes them feel your absence, not just hear your words. Ever notice something strange? When you stop explaining yourself, when you stop chasing, people suddenly start thinking. That's the paradox of silence. It doesn't push, it pulls. Think back to the last time you were hurt. Maybe someone ghosted you, disrespected you, or gave you the cold shoulder. Your instinct probably screamed, say something, fight back, defend your worth. But here's the truth. The more you talk, the less they listen. The more you chase, the faster they run. The more you explain, the less they value your words. When you go silent, people feel your absence more than they ever appreciated your presence. He who does not understand your silence will probably not understand your words. Albert Hubbard. Silence makes people uncomfortable in ways noise never can. When you go quiet instead of reacting, you force them to face their own actions. Silence holds up a mirror. It says, I saw what you did. I felt how you treated me. But I value myself too much to explain it. That's not ego, that's clarity. Because if they cared, they'd ask. If they respected you, they'd reach out. If they were mature, they wouldn't need a paragraph to see your worth. So you stay silent. And in that silence, you reclaim every ounce of power you once gave away. You stop wasting energy trying to be understood by people who don't even understand themselves. You stop trying to heal through conversation, because some wounds only heal in quiet. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Your silence will trigger them, confuse them, and make them question themselves. But that's when the power shifts, because silence says one truth loud and clear. You don't owe them an explanation. Not anymore. 2. When you stay silent, you hear the truth louder. The world is noisy, but silence, Silence helps you listen, not to others, but to yourself. In moment of heartbreak or betrayal, most people run to others for advice or validation. They call friends, scroll endlessly, or confront the person who hurt them, hoping the right talk will heal the wrong person. But the Stoic does something radically different. He goes silent, not because he doesn't feel pain, but because he knows real answers come from reflection, not noise. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Marcus Aurelius, when you become truly silent, the mind settles, and when the mind settles, truth rises. You begin to realize, they never truly respected me. I just ignored it. I'm not angry they left. I'm angry I stayed too long. I don't need closure, I need peace. Silence gives you space to separate emotion from principle. When you're hurt, your emotions scream. Chase them, explain, prove yourself. But when you're silent, your values whisper. Hold your dignity, protect your peace, let go. That's why Stoics didn't react fast. They practiced sacred stillness, a pause before the storm. You don't earn respect by being louder. You earn it by staying calm while the world panics. The more silent you are, the more people reveal who they truly are. Silence isn't weakness, it's focused intention. It's the doorway to wisdom most never open. 3. Begging for closure is a form of self-betrayal. Let's be honest, begging for closure almost always ends in more pain, not peace. If someone cared, you wouldn't have to beg for clarity. They'd offer it freely. If they don't, then your silence is a closure. Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Epictetus, when you stop chasing explanations and start embodying your values, you stop giving others power over your healing. Here's the pattern. They hurt you, you seek answers. They withdraw, you feel worse. And the cycle continues until you realize closure isn't given, it's created. Real closure happens the moment you stop seeking validation from those who broke you. You accept their silence as your answer. You understand that not everyone deserves your explanation. And in that acceptance, you reclaim your peace. 4. Silence exposes what words try to hide. When you go quiet, masks fall off. Words can lie, silence cannot. What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say. Ralph Waldo Emerson. People can say anything to sound right, but silence reveals who they actually are. Stop talking and watch. The one who respects you will reach out. The one who used you will vanish. The manipulator will grow angry because they lost control. Words can create illusion. Silence exposes truth. Sometimes silence hurts more than confrontation, because absence can be argued with. When you stop responding, people's actions reveal everything you needed to know. That's not cold. That's clarity. That's Stoicism. 5. Not explaining yourself is the highest form of confidence. When people misunderstand you, your first impulse is to defend yourself. But explaining yourself to those who've already judged you isn't confidence. It's fear. Don't waste what remains of your life speculating about others unless it brings mutual benefit. Marcus Aurelius. Every time you try to convince someone of your worth, you hand them your energy. Confidence is quiet. It's knowing your value without forcing others to see it. They may call you distant or selfish, but losing those who never truly saw you isn't loss. It's alignment. You don't need to justify your peace. Your silence already does that. 6. Your detachment in silence teaches the real lesson. There's unmatched power in walking away quietly. No anger, no drama, just detachment. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca, when you go silent, they're left with their thoughts, their guilt, the echo of your absence. You don't need to prove your worth. Your silence shows it. People don't change through arguments. They change through distance. And if they don't, that's okay. The lesson wasn't for them. It was for you. Detachment isn't coldness. It's spiritual maturity. It's refusing to keep your soul in places it isn't valued. You don't have to yell, "I'm done." You can simply be done. That's real power. Final words. If you made it this far, you can feel it. A quiet shift inside you. A reminder you didn't know you needed. You don't have to chase. You don't have to beg. You don't have to explain. That's the essence of Stoicism. It's not coldness, it's clarity. It's not detachment from love. It's detachment from chaos. Your silence might not win every argument, but it will help you win yourself back. Because every time you stay calm, you build peace. Every time you walk away quietly, you build worth. Every time you keep your dignity, you build unshakable power. So remember this final truth. Let your silence be your last word. Not from ego, not from pride, but from deep, unbreakable self-respect. If this message resonated, like the video, share it with someone who needs this truth, and comment your affirmation below. Man in lotus position, my silence is my last word and my most powerful one.